All right, traders, welcome to my introductory video on trend surfing. So this is the first of a two-part little video series that I'm going to do to introduce trend surfing. It's my way of teaching how to trade these trends, these powerful trends that occur in virtually all markets. You're going to have these powerful moves, and then the moves that kind of go sideways and don't really do anything. But these powerful moves are worth your time to learn how to trade them. Where do you get in? How do you get in early and not late? And then how do you get out? How do you know when to get out? So let's just kind of work through this analogy. And I have been surfing in California my whole life. And so when I started trading and looking at how energy moved through the markets, I said, gosh, that's just like surfing. And so I've developed this course, and I've also been studying charts and trading for over 25 years. So I've got a deep understanding of charts and knowledge of how markets work. And I'm just able to deliver it in a more simplified way using the surfing analogy. All right, so let's look at the 200 period moving average down here. We'll call that the deep ocean. Then we have a 20 period moving average, and and of course the market, and that sets up our wave. So we will be surfing this 20 period moving average, and the surfer will be the market surfing off of this wave. The wave is the 20 period moving average. The surfer is the market. And then the wave and the energy is going into the beach, where eventually it will crash on the beach and it will dissipate all this energy, and you're going to have to get out of that trade. So one of the reasons that I've set this up as an analogy is because traders, there's a couple of things. Number one, traders don't know where to get in to trades. And they'll trade in California and surfing. We call little waves, and we call them junky waves. So we don't surf junk. This would be junky waves. Well, traders don't necessarily really know where to get in on these. Is this, if I got in right here, is that a junky entry? Is it a junky wave? So I'm going to teach you in my course where to sit in what we call the lineup, where to sit to catch the waves at all. What does a power wave look like? How to get in on that wave, and then ultimately how to surf it up the 20. So in the second part of this video, we'll be talking about sort of the analogy of actually surfing. And then in the course, we get into the very specifics of what each of these candle sets is, and whether or not this is an entry move or is it an exit move. Has the wave actually crashed? Has the wave crashed up on the beach here and we need to get out? Obviously, this energy has changed direction, is dissipated, it's going back out into the ocean. And we need to either change direction and surf it this way, or we need to, at least at the minimum, get off this wave. So one of the nice things about the surfing analogy is surfers surf until the wave is dissipated its energy and they get off the wave. That's it. There's no emotional dilemma there. They just get off the wave and they paddle back and they do it again. So if you learn that you can get into a wave, surf it as long as it's got surfability, and then you're going to get out. It's just it. There's no emotion here. So pros don't panic because we have a process. It's a simple 4-step process of be in the right location, get up on your wave as your trade entry, surf the wave, and then kick out of the wave when it's dissipated its energy, gives you an exit signal. This is very simple. And you can do this over and over again. One other thing that surfers do is that they surf lots of waves. They don't drive down to the beach to surf one wave and then don't do that again for 6 months. You can do this over and over again. Here's a trend that you could have traded on Apple. And then look at what's happening again with Apple right here. This is current market on Apple, daily chart. So here we have a trade entry right here. We've got the place where you should be surfing. So you're going to sit where the waves are. You got a great trade entry, which is your wave. The wave of energy is coming through. And we go into detail in the course about how to do this, how to find this wave entry. And it's not hard. It's just a matter of understanding, be in the right location, surf where the waves are. That's step 1. Step 2, catch a power wave. Step 3, surf the wave. And then step 4, when the wave gives you an exit signal that it's done and crashed on the beach, you get out. You teach your kids this. You could have a family of traders who are trading this. It's so simple. So you surf and you get off and you do it again and you do it again. And this is Apple on the daily chart, current market. So here you have, just in the last year or two major trends in Apple that you could have gotten in, surfed the wave, gotten off, gotten back in, surfed the wave. And so this is current, you'd still be in this trade right now. Now it is getting a little long in the tooth. This wave is starting to extend out here, and at some point this will turn. It'll come back, and essentially the surfer will come back and rejoin the wave again. As they come away from the wave, they're going to come back to the wave and make a decision. Do I keep surfing or do I get out? And that's what we're going to cover in the second part of this video series. We're going to talk about actually surfing this wave. And then we have fine detail in the course about how to actually do that. But we're going to cover kind of the analogy of surfing the wave itself in the second part of this series. Now, if you go over to this QR code, you can get access to my trading community on Pros Don't Panic, where I teach nothing but trend surfing and the analogy and the process of trend surfing. It's a simple 4-step process, and I coach 2 times a week in the community. And I reinforce this idea of just getting in these fast-paced trends, make your money and get out. And you can do that on a long-term chart. You can do it on the monthly chart, the weekly chart, daily. This is a daily example. You can do it on the 2-minute chart if you want to get in there and day trade. So it's all the same. It's just trend surfing is the same. We use the same 2 moving averages, the 20 and the 200, and you can surf on any time scale that works with your situation, and any market that works with your situation. And then, so I coach 2 times a week, and then I teach I have a couple of times a week that I do market updates. We'll go over things like this current market set up on Apple, so you can kind of keep an eye on developing markets. And then I've got a Q&A day that if you have some questions about some trades you're in or some things in the course, I'll do a day of answering your questions. So I am very accessible as a live coach who is in my community, making sure that my traders go from retail traders to trained professionals with a set of best practices. But I keep it simple. I keep it in a trading analogy that kids could learn. You could teach your kids this. You can buy one access. I don't care if you do that. You buy one family membership to the course. Use it for your whole family. I don't care. And then teach all your kids how to do this. You can have 4 traders in your family all trading and turn it into a business. And this becomes your income engine. You just do this over and over and over again. So we'll talk about that more in the second video. And then keep an eye on my site here for more videos. But I encourage you to join this community while you can, because the prices are very low. It's a founding membership right now. And you can get your whole family involved and your friends involved and just start making money. There's no reason why you can't trade the markets. It's really not as hard as people make it sound. And you can get in there and start trading. Doesn't matter if it's crypto or stocks. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. SpaceX is coming online. There's this crazy amount of stuff's happening right now. So trade these trends, learn how to do it. And then I will see you in the community. All right. Take care, everybody.